Yay. Welcome. Oh, please, please. Yeah, what do you mean, Kate? Really? So welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. I'm going to just repeat a few things. My name is Reverend Christine Boylan, and we're thrilled to see you all here in the sanctuary, as well as knowing that there are many others watching on our website and on Facebook. And with me today, there's never enough applause, right, is our music director, Carolyn Fisher. Yay, Carolyn. And now I'm going to ask you to hold your applause to the end. Our prayer chaplain ministry leader, Deborah Giddings, our worship assistant, Kirk Smallage, our live stream masters, Jim Mahoney, Wendy Billings, and Tony Bensko. Also, our greeters, you may have met outside, Julie, Lois, Lillian, and was there somebody else? I think just the three, right? Okay. Our coffee barista, all right, there's going to be caffeine. Scott, thank you, Scott. And our ambassadors, Afni and Suzette. So thank you all for and forgot one person, a couple people, our prayer chaplains, Lynn and Marie, and we're going to ask them to stand up so you'll know who they are afterwards. Okay, they'll stand up now. That's who our prayer chaplains are, and they'll be here to pray with you after the service. And we have one more, our proofreader, Rob Morehouse. Thank you, Rob. You think by now I'd know how to spell vaccinated. Okay. Although we are filming, live streaming, please don't let that affect your experience here today. Please feel free to get up and leave the sanctuary if you need to clap your hands, to applaud, to call out anything. But at this point, I'm sure you all know there is no singing except for the wonderful Caroline. Last Tuesday, our Board of Trustees met and to review our COVID protocols. As our state positivity rate has, at that point, had risen to 3.18. I think it's higher than that right now. So based on science, medicine, government advice and mandates, and of course, guidance from within, they made one little change, and that is they are strongly suggesting that you wear a mask inside the church building, even if you are vaccinated. Of course, if you're not fully vaccinated, whether an adult or a child, you're required to wear a mask inside the church building or anywhere on the church property. So certainly if you have any questions, please speak to any board member. You can also send an email to the entire board, and that's board@unityhartford.org. Or certainly you could speak to me. Now, yesterday we held a memorial service for Ashley DePola, who is the eldest daughter of our beloved member, Kate Morrison. And I want to thank all the prayer chaplains who helped, Lee Dittman, Wendy Billings, Lynn Lennon, Marie Manu, Lois DeMille, and Jolene Soslick, as well as other people who pitched in, Donna Marshall, Deborah Wilson, Shirley Smith, and Barbara Schaefer. And special thanks for really stepping up, Deborah Giddings, Jim Mahoney, and Marty Espinola. It was his first time on the camera. I thought that was very brave. And of course, the amazing music director, Carolyn Fisher, and our wonderful office manager, Tony Bensko, who stayed with me until everyone left, which was around 5:30 or so. And many of the treats, breakfast treats that we'll be offering today in fellowship in the community room after today's service, they were donated by Kate's family. So it was indeed an honor to be in service to Kate and her family yesterday. Thank you for that opportunity. We do have with us today a VIP, and that is the spiritual leader of, she just rolled her eyes at me, Unity of Central Massachusetts, Kathleen Kerswick. So welcome, Kathleen. And so as you came in, we handed out a Sunday bulletin to those who are in the sanctuary today. First, when you leave here today, take that bulletin with you. Otherwise, you're just giving me more work because I have to pick them all up. It's all about me, right, Deborah? so, but on the back of that is something that you might want to refer to later on in the talk today. If you did not get one when you came in, please raise your hand, and Lillian here will hand you one. Okay. Oh, and Julie's got them too. Thank you. And for those who are watching online, certainly today's bulletin, but without that particular information, is on our website, unityhartford.org. It will be included in this week's newsletter. Okay. So right now, let's take a moment to affirm what we know about unity, and that is on our bulletin, our welcome affirmation. Let's say that together. Unity is a positive path for a spiritual living. And here at Unity, we welcome, value, and include all people. So again, welcome to all of you this morning, those in the sanctuary, as well as those watching on our website, and those on Facebook, where you have a special invitation to make your presence known. Anytime during today's service, let others who are on Facebook know that you're there. Say hello, leave some comments, greet each other, and of course, send up those lovely emojis. And is anyone here for the first time this morning? I'm looking around. I don't think so, right? Okay. But if it's your first time watching online, we would love to send you a welcome information package. And so all you need to do is to send an email to us, and you want to send that to thank you, Michael. So all you need to do is send an email to officemgr@unityhartford.org. And when you do, say, I'd like to receive that welcome information package, and include your name. Make sure you include your name and your address, and we'll get that in the mail to you right away. It includes a lot of information about this church, but also the Worldwide Unity Movement. All right, I think that's all I have right now. So Carolyn, let's take a moment to pray right now. Okay. Our prayer chaplain just said thank you. So let's take a moment right now. And so we pray. We pray with open hearts and open minds. We pray affirming that there is abundance always available to us. We deny any lack, any limitation. We do not fear. No, we are open and receptive to our good, no matter how it comes to us. We're open to all the sources. For we know that as we give, so shall we receive. And so we stand with arms out, accepting our good, open to it coming to us in any way that it chooses to. We know that we live in a universe of unlimited prosperity. For it is the Father's good pleasure to give. It is our pleasure. It is our honor. It is a wonderful opportunity to give and to receive. This morning we affirm those truths. We stand firm in our truth. And at this moment, we open to all the good in the universe And we're just going to take a moment of silence to do that. I am open and receptive to the limitless good in the universe. I gratefully give and receive, and I am blessed. And so it is. Amen. And now we're ready for Kirk.
Top of the morning to you, UGH. And a little Irish humor. You see, there was a leprechaun, an elf, and a wee little tree dwarf. And they walked into a bar. And if you'd like to hear the rest of the story, just join me in the community room after the service, where we'll be serving free Guinness. Oh, what's that? We only got water. Oh, shameful, shameful. Well, join me over in the corner while I'll be practicing a couple of the unity principles there. Number 33, we try to be more like Jesus. And number 34, try to experience life as if you're creating your own reality with God himself. I'll be in the corner trying to change the damn water into Guinness. And we can all celebrate. So back to a more serious side. Good morning. I am Kirk Smallage, your worship assistant. Delighted to be here this morning. And we have some things going on in our church that I'd like to make you aware of. This coming Saturday morning, August 14th, we will be holding a morning of fun spiritual activities entitled the Spirit Camp. This will be a morning for you to experience what happens when spirituality and fun are united. So that there's going to be enough supplies, we hope that what you'll do is pre-register, and that would be through the website calendar, or you can put your name on the sign-up sheet that's located outside the sanctuary in the atrium. There is a $10 fee that will be collected at the door to help with those supplies. Now, some of the camp activities, just so it'll entice you a little more, are included are explorations through guided meditations, the labyrinth walk with singing bowls, guided body spirit awareness movement, conversations by the pool. By the way, this is taking place here, not at the lake, inside and outside. An affirmation walk, claim you are good dart game, creative coloring, and lots more. And if you're lucky and I've practiced enough, we'll fill the pool with Guinness. Now, if you have a lawn chair, please bring it and make it even with some sunscreen along in case you're outside and it's a nice sunny day. So it's going to be fun, so please join us there next Saturday morning, August 14th. There are flyers in the atrium, so please pick up one or several of them and invite your family and friends. Next, on Friday evening, September 10th, beginning at 6:30 p.m., there'll be a Zoom workshop entitled How to Get What You Want in Life. This interactive workshop is being offered by our Unity Church here, as well as the Unity Church of Christ in New Jersey. Both churches will be coming together to explore and experience how the life that we desire and deserve can be accomplished. And there is a $20 fee, and you need to pre-register online at our website for this. You can do that simply by clicking on the donate button and then go to where the classes are located, and you'll be able to register there. Finally, please save the date of September 8th to join us in celebrating Unity's World Day of Prayer. Yay. And with that, I believe we're finished, and we get to turn things over to our lovely music director, Carolyn. And remember, no singing now. And
But
if you could,
clapping
and clapping, there's clap. Oh, this is a song you want to clap to. So anyway, Carolyn, what song are we singing today? Or are we not singing today?
That was good. That was a good catch, actually. So I'm starting today off with a song called Brave. It's by Sarah Bareilles. You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be an outcast, or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Oh no, you can't start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle beneath your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight, sometimes the shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. What you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Wanna see you, I just wanna see you. Just wanna see you. Wanna see you be brave. Wanna see you. Just wanna see you. Wanna see you. Wanna see you be brave. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy, fallen for the fear and done some disappearing, bowed down to the mighty. Don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you can let the light in. Show me how big your brave is. Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. And since your history of silence won't do you any good, did you think it would? Let your words be anything but empty. Why don't you tell them the truth and say what you want to say and let the words fall out? Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. I want to see you be brave. Oh, and see you be brave. I want to see you be brave.
That was awesome. Thank you, Carolyn. And now, if you would please join me in our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good omnipotence. Amen. And today's daily word, which I have the privilege to read to you today, is entitled Protected. And the affirmation accompanying this is, through my oneness with God, I feel protected. And the message reads, sometimes I may feel at the mercy of a changing, tumultuous world that I cannot control. This is never true. Even though the chaos of the world may swirl around me, at the center of my being is a place of perfect peace and calm. Whenever I am in need of a safe refuge, I turn to God within to reach this place of tranquility and reclaim my feeling of security and protection. The sun always rises after the longest, darkest night. I remind myself of this truth and feel grateful as I allow the light of spiritual understanding to release and reclaim whatever power I may have unwittingly given to a fear-based thought. Fully in tune with the divine presence within me, I move safely and confidently through every challenging circumstance. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Kirk. Today, we are going to focus on the second spiritual law of prosperity, which is outlined in the book, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Reverend Edwin Gaines. And as I read this chapter, a phrase came to mind, and maybe you're familiar with this phrase. What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. Now, just to be clear, okay, and clarity's good, right? I'm not saying Vegas like Las Vegas, right? But rather vagueness, meaning lack of clarity, not being clear, not being precise. So what happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. Can you say that? What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. You got it. And I don't know about you, but I found that when I want something to happen in my life or to show up in my life, I need to be clear in my own mind first. And that is going to be important for you to understand as we move from our first spiritual law of prosperity into our second law. Clarity and awareness go hand in hand when we're talking about prosperity. Oftentimes people, well, I have to say unity people, are so in love with the truth teaching that we are spiritual beings experiencing, creating this human experience, that they really only hear the first part. We are spiritual beings. Yeah. And they ignore or separate the rest of the phrase and end up living a bit conflicted and even dissatisfied. When that happens, then they decide that these truth teachings don't work. They rarely conclude that they might be working the truth teachings incorrectly. We tend to think that it's an either-or situation. We are either in the physical world or we are in the spiritual world. But that's not the truth or even the goal. Rather, we are in and of both. And you know what? That's a lot harder. It's a tough balancing act. And we tend to give that up way too easily. We become all in the physical, all out here, and become disconnected from the spiritual until something we don't like happens. Right? And then we go running back to the spiritual and we attempt to become all spiritual. And then we become disconnected from the physical. This contributes to us living a conflicted and often dissatisfied life. So our goal is to marry our physical and spiritual worlds. And to do that, we need clarity. And guess what? Clarity rarely allows us to stay in our comfort zone. And the first spiritual law quickly kicked us out of our prosperity comfort zone, didn't it? because the author's first suggested action is a bit crazy. At first glance, it doesn't make sense. Tithe and experience a wonderful transformation in your life. That sounds a bit crazy. And yet, when you go deeper and realize that this action of tithing or disciplined giving is based on the law of compensation, well, then it makes perfect sense. For that law states that as you give, so shall you receive. Last week we discussed how tithing or disciplined giving helps us to live the law of compensation because it helps us become aware that the divine or spirit or God, whatever name you use, is our one and only source of all. And to help bring this truth into our spiritual and our physical lives, many of us made a commitment that for the next 5 months, we are going to give a weekly tithe or a specific amount. And we're giving that to that which spiritually feeds us. And when we do that, when we give that giving to that which spiritually feeds us, we are going to bring into our minds, our hearts, and our lips an affirmation that reminds us that God is my one and only source of all. In fact, that is often my affirmation when I tithe, when I give, and when I receive. So our second law is also about clarity, and it's about asking. Now that we are regularly giving, we need to be ready to receive. And many of us think that, oh, I'm always ready. I am always ready to receive. Yeah. Well, you know what? I would very much like, one of my goals is to travel to Venice, Italy. Certainly that's a great and clear goal, but am I ready to receive? Well, when I recently checked my passport, I discovered it had expired. So if someone came to me today and offered me a free trip to Venice, am I ready to receive? No. Well, no, I didn't really mean today. No, not today. Well, what did I mean? Vagueness keeps me unready. Vagueness gives me excuses. Vagueness keeps me dissatisfied. Vagueness keeps me in my comfy zone and eventually unhappy and unfulfilled and not going to Venice. So the second spiritual law, is about receiving. And doing so often requires us to move out of our comfort zone, getting clear about our desires and setting goals. Maybe you heard this Jesus quote before. Ask, and you shall receive. It doesn't say, be vague. Ask. Are you ready to ask? Are you ready to become a professional dream catcher? Now, I'm not speaking about the Native American dream catchers. Okay? I'm speaking literally those two words. Are you ready to become a professional catcher of dreams? The author, Reverend Edwin, who is wonderfully practical, relays a story about a woman who attended one of her workshops. And she, as a result of that workshop, she set a goal of wanting more love in her life. About a week later, a good friend gave her a pregnant dog as a gift. Not exactly what the woman had in mind. Vagueness stays in vagueness. What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. So the first action step in getting ourselves ready to receive, it's about getting honest about what we desire in life and then to set goals to become that professional dream catcher. Are you ready to get pushed out of your comfort zone or your zone of discontent? If so, the author points us to 10 steps, and they revolve around setting clear, specific goals. So if you say that your goal is to have more love in your life, well, that goal doesn't make any sense, really. If you were just to say, I want more love in my life, that doesn't make any sense. Love is one of the 12 spiritual powers. It's already there. It's already in you. All the love you could want. Unlimited love is available to you simply for the asking, as are the other spiritual powers. But you can ask for love to show up in your life in a very specific way. Maybe it is a pet, but be specific. Or a soulmate, but be specific. Or a circle of friends, but be specific. You see, goals are vessels to help us catch our good. Goals might also be looked on as focused or directed faith. Do you truly believe that with God, everything is possible? And of course, we know that this process of setting goals is just for us. We cannot set desires or goals for anyone else in our lives. Yet many people feel uncomfortable about getting clear, about expressing a material desire. And I wonder why that is. Does it make you feel unspiritual or too materialistic? Well, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore, in his book Prosperity, written in the early 1930s, around the time of the Depression, wrote that desire is the onward impulse of the ever-evolving soul. It is the impulse of the ever-evolving soul. Oh, I want my soul to ever evolve. Dr. Emily Cady, in her book Lessons of Truth, which is a foundational book in Unity teaching, writes, asking springs from a desire to possess some good. And what is desire? Desire in the heart is always God tapping at the door of your consciousness with this infinite supply, a supply that is forever useless unless there is a demand for it. Desire in the heart for anything is God's sure promise sent beforehand to indicate that it is yours already in the limitless realm of supply. And whatever you want, you can have for the taking. Or perhaps today, we should say for the asking. So receiving is not so much an event that it may look like, but rather a process. We started that process last week by making a commitment to acknowledge that God is our one and only source of all through tithing or disciplined giving. Receiving begins with giving. This week, we continue by getting clear and specific about our dreams and then setting clear and specific goals. Reverend Gaines tells us to first write down as many desires we can come up with. And this is not about being practical or getting caught up in the how, but just dreaming big. It's all about daydreaming. Anybody daydream? It's one of my favorite pastimes, daydreaming, yes. And daydreaming is often not very practical, is it? In fact, in her book, one of her desires was to have lunch with the Dalai Lama. And when I first read that, my first thought was, well, how could that ever happen? But see, that part is not ours to do. We must take our hands off of the how. Right now, we're creating a desire or a dream list. So guess what? Lunch with the Dalai Lama is on my dream list. Now, after you've written about 25 desires or dreams, and you can certainly do more than that, but challenge yourself to put at least 25. Once you have those 25, pick several that you would like to have as a goal, and pick at least 5. Now, if you have it all figured out about how this goal will come to be, and you know that you can make it happen, then guess what? That goal is simply not big enough. Go back. Raise the bar. Raise the clarity. So out of your desires, your dreams, you now have at least 5 selected. Ponder your goals. Put a timeline to each one of them. So my goal was Venice. Well, not now, but maybe in 2 years? Yeah. And after you add specifics and a date, next comes visualization. That's a very important prayer tool. Yeah, it's a prayer tool, visualization. Imagine yourself achieving your goal. Write down how you might feel, how you might look, what you would be doing. I can envision myself speaking Italian, understanding people speaking Italian to me, and I see myself walking through Venice, being mistaken for a native. Ciao. Next step, act as if you already achieved your goal. Well, guess what? I might just need to start learning how to speak Italian. And yes, get my passport renewed. What steps do you need to take so you are ready to catch the good that you desire? Ready to be a dream catcher. The author also advises us to keep our goals private, or to just share them with people who we know will be great cheerleaders. And as you reach your goals, and you will, cross them off and write down new ones. Finally, she reminds us that there are really only 2 things going on in the universe at all times: circulation or congestion. Circulation is about flowing and moving, spreading out, dispersing, distributing, giving. Congestion is about stagnation, blocking, stopping, hoarding, fear. Not giving and not receiving. If we don't keep setting new goals, then we are basically telling the universe, oh no, I'm all about the congestion. Don't send me any new dreams. I'm done. Her last step is to remember that God's highest law is love, and it is the Father's good pleasure to give. Spiritual law is always in movement, giving us our heart's desires. Do we love ourselves enough to receive, to truly become a dream catcher? Now today, those who are in the sanctuary, on the back of the bulletin are her 10 steps. Because remember, what happens in Begness stays in Begness, and now you know. And if you're not here, then these 10 steps will be listed in our newsletter when it comes out on Friday. Or you can get the book. There you go. But guess what? None of these steps are going to help you. You can have as many steps as you want. unless you're willing to move out of your comfort zone. And not just one toe, but both feet. Every morning, jump with both feet. All right, we're going to do that right now. All right, everyone step up. Get up. Get up. And if you're at home, get up. Get up, get up, get up. So if you need to hang on to the pew in front of you, that's okay. Some of us may need to. If you really can't lift both feet off, I know you can lift both hands up. There are some of you really talented people who could do both. I don't know about me. Okay. So I'm going to count to 3, and the count of 3, we're going to take both feet off the ground. We're going to jump out of our comfort zone. 1, 2, 3, go. Woo! We did it. That's your first jump out of your comfort zone. Now, the last page of this chapter on the second law, we find this sentence. When it comes to getting what you want, sincere effort is required on your part. She tells us that we must develop directed faith, focused faith, asking with expectancy. Anybody been watching the Olympics? Yeah. Not one person there, not even the coaches, got there without sincere effort, continued effort, over and over and over. We can learn from them. This week, keep giving and keep affirming that God is your one and only source of all. And every morning, remind yourself to move out of your comfort zone by jumping off the floor with both feet, or at least both hands. And then follow this 10-step process of moving out of your comfort zone and moving in to becoming a professional dream catcher. Happy catching. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Reverend Christine. Seriously, guys, that one deserves another applause. This was a great talk. Thank you. So this is the time in our service where we really get to express and experience that God is our one and only source of good. And we do that in a few ways. We can do that tangibly by making a contribution online. For those that are home at unityhartford.org, click the donate button. If you're in the sanctuary, there is a giving box that is out in the atrium, and there'll be people there to greet you and guide you if you want to put a contribution into the box. Anything with credit card absolutely has to be done online. But then there's also this opportunity to create an intangible blessing. Blessing, the word blessing, means to impart the quickening spiritual power that produces growth. It is the power of multiplication. So let's take both the intangible blessing, which could be a word or a phrase, God is my one and only source of good, and hold both of them in your heart and feel that quickening spirit as we say our offering blessing together. Divine love, flowing as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive, and so it is. Amen. Now let's everybody, we're going to impart a blessing upon each other with the Gandhi blessing, and it's a call and response. So let's stand up, if you can. Stand up if you're able. And look around the room. Yeah. Jump if you need to. But look around the room and see the beautiful souls in this room today. And as you're responding back, as I call it out and you're responding back, feel that power of multiplication of love to each and every person. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you. Now, Carolyn is going to sing the Unity Peace song. While we listen, we sway. And then Kirk will lead us in the prayer for protection. Carolyn?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Please join me in saying our prayer for protection out loud. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you, Kirk. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and special thanks to Deborah Giddings and to all our prayer chaplains, whether they're here or online. I know that they're holding sacred space for us. They're holding us all in prayer. And I especially want to thank our two prayer chaplains, Lynn and Marie, if you would mind standing up again. They're here today in the sanctuary and available to pray with you. So they will be here after we all leave the sanctuary and go into the community room. So please, if you do have a prayer request, you'd like one-on-one praying, just go up to either one of these wonderful people and say, I would like prayer request, and they'll take it from there. And you may also, thank you guys, you may also email your prayer request to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. And the prayer chaplains holding your prayer in confidence will pray with you. Here in the sanctuary, you can complete a prayer request card that I think is in the pew in front of you. Just fill out your prayer request and put it in the prayer request box in the back as you're going out on your right. And of course, if anyone would like to have a chat with me, please feel free to contact me at revchris, REVCHRIS, @unityhartford.org. And so finally, I want to thank our greeters today. That's Lois and Lillian and Julie. Our coffee barista, Scott. Thank you for the caffeine. Our, our ambassadors. And I'm going to ask Afnai and Suzette to please stand for 1 minute Okay, these are our ambassadors today. So if we do have anyone who is in the sanctuary today but has not been here before, they have a wonderful welcome information package to give to you. So just go up to them and ask for that package and they'll make sure you get it. Thank you, guys. And also our wonderful worship assistant, Kirk, our line stream masters, Jim, Wendy, and Tony. And you could be one of these wonderful people. If you would like to be in service but can't quite figure out what do I do, just give me a call, send me an email, and together we'll figure out the right and perfect place for you to serve. And finally, many, many thanks to our amazing music director, Carolyn Fisher. And what is our closing song today as you take your applause?
Wow, dream catchers. I'm going to be ending today with A Million Dreams. Yes. Oh, all right. I guess I better do a good job. Close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me to call my own. Through the dark, through the door, where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in the world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, long as you bring me along. To the world we close our Every night I lie in bed, brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams is all keeping me awake. I dream of what the world could be, vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Thank you. Thank you. I have to wait until you stop, so I am practicing receiving right now without blushing. Thank you so much for joining us both here today in this sanctuary and online and on Facebook. And we hope that you'll join us on Wednesday for our meditation service. You can come here in the sanctuary starting at 6:30 or join us on Facebook at 7 o'clock. And we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.